How pretty. Look at that. Are you dying? Are you gagged? Because I am. They're so good. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with them. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video. We're doing March Clean Beauty favorites. How are we here? I say that at the beginning of every favorites video. How did we get here? How did time fly by this quickly? But seriously, we're in the Sephora sale right now. We're doing Clean Beauty favorites. So hopefully my favorites, if any of these are available at Sephora, if you didn't see my Sephora video, that one went up on Friday. This video is going up on Tuesday or Wednesday if I don't have to. You know what? Technical difficulties with uploading recently have been really annoying, but it should be up on Tuesday. But I'm really freaking excited to walk you through my Clean Beauty favorites from this month. I have some new ones. I have stuff I really want to like jump in and talk about. Ooh, my eyes are itchy. I have stuff like for some of the stuff that's on my face right now. We're going to talk about that. So I just want to kind of jump in and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into my March Clean Beauty favorites. All right, you guys, let's get into it. I'm excited. So I'm going to kind of go makeup, skincare, hair, and then a couple of tools. And then we're done. I'm very excited. So let's first things first. I've been grabbing this nonstop 4 months since I got this. This is the Rose Inc Clear Brow Gel. I'm obsessed with it. It lasts really long. My brows stay in place all day. It's not too waxy, but it has a waxy consistency. It doesn't flake. But since it's a clear brow gel, but since it is a little bit more on the white side when you apply it, it doesn't apply white, but you just have to be careful that when you're like combing through that you're getting it all, because sometimes there's a couple of white flakes, especially if you have dark brows. I don't really think you'd have that issue if you had lighter brows, but my brows are really dark color, but I'm really obsessed with this. Okay, next we're gonna stick with eyes and we're gonna go eyeshadow palettes. These palettes, I'm obsessed with them. Look at them, they're so pretty. These are the Persona Cosmetics Identity 1. So this is the Identity palette and this is the Identity 2 palette. I use the Identity 2 palette to create this like blue fun eye look, and I'm obsessed with them. They're so freaking good. I've been grabbing them nonstop and I feel like they're just the freaking best. And they are a little bit pricier than, let's say, the PYT palettes, which you know I'm also obsessed with, but these are just so good. You know, actually with the Identity 2 palette, I dropped it and shattered it everywhere. There was powder everywhere. And the only shade that didn't shatter in the palette was this one here, which is the shade Loyal, which I use all the time, which was great because I had to wait for this new one to come in. I was so upset. I was so upset. Is there anything worse than breaking your makeup? Nothing. But I'm really obsessed with these. Currently, true obsession with Persona Cosmetics. I just love their quality of products. These are really good. Okay, next, let's go on to these. So these are the Caliray Beauty eyeliners. I've talked about these a ton on this channel. I'm still obsessed with them. And the pigmentation is really good. And the reason I've been grabbing these the most this month is they're really easy to smudge out. And I've been really into smudging my eyeliner and creating a easy wing with eyeliner that isn't liquid, or not necessarily always using powder. If I'm doing a powder wing, I'm grabbing the Identity or the original Identity palette and I'm going in with these shades. So I'm going in with these browns here, but if I'm going on with eyeliner, I'm going on with these eyeliners the most because they are the most long lasting. I also really like to use the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeliners and sometimes the Persona Cosmetics eyeliner, but since that one sets up so fast and is so long wearing, I find it easier to manipulate these and smudge them out, so I've been loving these. Next, mascara. Guys, I have been obsessed with this month. This is the Jones Road Beauty Mascara. I'm actually wearing it on my lashes today. This is such a good mascara. I'm obsessed with it. It just gives me the most beautiful looking lashes. It kind of has a swoop to it, the brush, and it is a more traditional style brush, but like a macaroni noodle, and it just is so good, so long wearing, doesn't flake. Sometimes I have to clean off the wand, but since I've had this a little bit longer, there isn't as much product that's on the brush anymore, but it's so good. I'm obsessed with it. Just make sure to, if there's a lot of product, to just clean off the wand so that it doesn't flake, but I really am obsessed with it. All right, next, let's move on to bronzer. So I have been surprising myself this month. So as we all know, I'm obsessed with the Ilia bronzer, the powder bronzer. Like, I've hit pan, obsessed. So good. But I've been grabbing creams. this month a ton. So this is the Persona Cosmetics. I'm actually wearing this one on my face today. This is the bronzer in Sahara, and it's so pretty. I'm gonna swatch. Gorge, gorge, gorge. Bronzed up goddess dream. Like so pretty, so pigmented, so blendable. It's wild. And then also I've been loving this. So this is the Milk Makeup Bronzer. I sometimes have to shake it up because if I don't, it gets a little bit more liquidy than I want it to be. The Milk Makeup Bionic Bronzer, and I have the shade Shape Shift in this. Gorge. I'm obsessed with this. So good. And the way I like to apply both of these, they have like very similar tones. I would say that the this one, the Milk Makeup one, is a little bit more brown tone in person, but gorge. It's just so pretty. And the way I like to apply it is take a beauty sponge, apply it to the back of my hand, take a beauty sponge, dip in, and apply it like that. Sometimes I'll use a brush, but I find that applying cream bronzers and blushes at times with a sponge, just depending on what I'm wearing underneath, is just better, and it always looks so good. I'm obsessed with these. They're so gorgeous. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. I can't. It's just gorgeous. Okay, next, let's move on to some complexion products. So I have been grabbing this concealer the most out of all my concealers this month. This is the LYS Beauty concealer, and the shade I have in this is MN5, which is kind of light, but I've been loving a little bit more of a highlighted under eye. And so once I blend it out, it looks seamless. Like, it's gorgeous. It's so good. And it's just so pretty. I mean, look at that. It just sets up. It's gorgeous. What I like to do with this concealer is I like to dot it down, go do my brows or go do something else, pour myself a cup of coffee, let it sit for a minute or two, and then blend it out. I find that it works the best like that. It's just so good. And in my review and it here, it's a little bit more, for me, I have very dark under eyes. It's a little bit more medium plus than fully full coverage, but I can get it to be full coverage. I just kind of like to apply a little bit and then blend out my concealers. I don't like to apply too much product because I always feel like then, because I don't drink water, kids, drink water. My under eyes are a little bit more on the creasy side, so then I feel like sometimes it can, like, not just this concealer, but other concealers can settle a little bit more if I over apply. So I like to go a little bit at a time. I feel like that's the key to life. A little bit at a time, guys. Okay, next, complexion products. So I've been grabbing this a ton this month, and this is the Jason Wu Tinted Moisturizer meets CC Cream, and I really like this product. So I have the shade 8, I believe, and I'm gonna link everything down below, as I always do, but this is so pretty, and I like to wear this alone, and it really color corrects. It's really good, which is what a CC cream is. It's a color correcting cream. But I really like that I got this shade because I think this is a good transitional into summer shade for me, and I really like products like this in summer. I've worn it alone. I've worn it with foundation on top. I really like the way that it wears, and I really like, it's just really pretty. It's definitely more light coverage. It's definitely more light sheer coverage, but it just gives the most beautiful glow to the face. And I think that if you were looking for something that is kind of like just balances out your skin tone a little bit, and the Rose Ink tinted serum didn't work for you, these are definitely worth checking out. Okay, next, we're talking the Kosas Revealer Foundation, and the shade I have in this is 290, and you guys are the best because you told me what shade you thought I was, because when I did my full review of this, I had such a hard time finding a shade. I got 3 shades. I kept one that was like definitely too light for me and a little bit too much on the yellow side, but I really wanted to like do a full review of it, try it out. And so you guys were like, listen, I think that you're this shade. And I was like, okay. And I got it, and you've changed my life because I love this foundation. It's so pretty. And like, look, I'm wearing it today. Look at it. I'm in studio lights. It's been about 2 hours since I've applied my makeup, and I just feel like it looks so pretty and just seamless and gorgeous. I apply about half a pump. I'm not a big apply a lot of foundation person, and then I blend it out with my fingers. I like the way it wears the best with fingers, like how when I apply it with my fingers, but I've applied it with a sponge and a brush. All great ways. I'm like obsessed with this foundation. It's really good. This is gonna be perfect for summer for me, and I really like this. The only thing I will say is, I said it in my review, I feel like Kosas in general, for their concealer and this foundation skew a little bit yellow. So you just kind of have to be aware of that, and maybe swatching in person, because I do know that I wasn't the only one that really struggled to find a shade match. But this is really good. I'm obsessed with it. And these two, the Jason Wu Tinted Moisturizer meets CC Cream and this layer together are also gorgeous. Okay, next. So this is the Merit Beauty Concealer Foundation Stick. I literally feel like I mention it every single freaking month. This is so good. This is so freaking good. I actually found something that, another foundation stick that I've been kind of using interchangeably with this as well, but that one I use more as a foundation. But for like my hyperpigmentation, which is what I use this for, I have another foundation stick that I'm going to review for you guys soon. That literally, I don't care what your complexion is, you will most likely find a shade match, which makes me really excited. I just have to do a little bit more testing on it, but I'm really excited to share that with you. But this has been just so good for my hyperpigmentation. Let's get into blush. Okay, I've been obsessed with this blush. I'm actually wearing this on my cheeks today. This is the Persona Cosmetics Super Blush, and this is their limited edition. I think this might be limited edition. This is the shade Bubble, and I'm obsessed with this. It is so freaking pretty, and although it is so bright, it blends out beautifully and it isn't too intense. It's gorgeous. If you have a lighter complexion than me, do not be scared, because I've seen plenty of people who tried this blush specifically and were a lot lighter than me, and it looked incredible on them too. I think the importance with powder blush is using the right brush for the blush, if that makes sense. Like, not all brushes will work great with certain powders, just in terms of like how much product is on the brush. Sometimes it applies too much or too little. And I'm gonna be mentioning my current obsession, blush brushes, in a little bit, but I'm obsessed with this. It's so freaking good, it's so pretty. Okay, next. This, I'm obsessed with this, it's so good. This is the Tower 28 blush, and this is specifically in the shade Magic Hour. I also have the orange one. I want to say it's Power Hour, but I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. It's there. I'm gonna list everything down below, shades, but this is gorgeous, and these last so long. It's just such a pretty pink shade. Just look at that. It's just gorgeous. It is so, now I have to make sure I don't get, why do I do this? Now I have to make sure I don't get freaking blush all over myself or my sweater, but so pretty, so seamless. I like to apply this blush specifically, cream blushes, but this one specifically with the Sephora. I believe it's, do I have it here? Oh, I do have it here. This brush here, this is the Sephora 93. I'm obsessed with it, and I just kind of apply it to the back of my hand and then apply it to my cheeks. Really, really good. Okay, next. Oh man, I have a lot of blushes I've been grabbing. Am I okay? This is the Rose Ink Cream Blush, and this is in the shade Foxglove, and I have been obsessively using this. So I have been on a pink blush kick right now, which initially started with the Persona Cosmetics. They sent this to me, and I started using it, and now I can't stop. I mean, if you saw my everyday makeup routine, like my updated one, I use this and I'm obsessed with it. And ever since I got this, I've been on a pink blush kick. But this is the one blush that I've kind of been grabbing a ton that isn't pink. And it is like the most gorgeous. Like, look at that. It's just so, so pretty. And it is like a more terracotta. Oh, I feel like you can't even see. Can you? The lighting in here is just, I hope you can tell the difference between them. It's more, you can see. It's a little bit more terracotta-y. It's gorgeous. It is so good. I apply it to the back of my hand, take a brush, and apply it to my cheeks. And this lasts so long. If you are looking for a super long-lasting cream blush, this one is really, really good. It is, and it's like a dewy, long-lasting cream blush. I have other cream, like liquid creamy blushes that aren't as dewy looking, that last super long too, but this one, obsessed. Okay, and then next I want to talk about these. I haven't talked about these, I feel like, a while on my channel, but I have been grabbing these specifically. So I got the new Say Beauty Blush It colors, so I've been grabbing these nonstop, and I've been using these three. So I have the shade Rosy, which is a shade that was in their original launch, the shade Chili and the shade Spicy, and I've been using them a ton, and I'm a huge fan specifically of the shade Chili, just because I have been in a really like pink blush place, you guys. So I want to swatch these for you guys just because they're like so gorge. So first things first, I'm gonna swatch Rosy, which is just like the most gorgeous. Oh, look at that. It's just so pretty. Next, I'm going to swatch Chili for you, which is also just like such a pretty, like, it's a more cool tone pink, but I've really been loving it. And although they look kind of scary here in terms of pigmentation, apply it to the back of your hand and then take a brush or a beauty sponge and apply it. Or you can just apply it to your cheeks. And if you blend it out with your fingers, the pigmentation is even less. So pretty. And then this is another, their other new shade, the shade Spicy. You guys, so pretty. Oh my God, it's so pretty. I can't. My phone is going crazy. I hope you can't hear that. Look how pretty. Look at that. Are you dying? Are you gagged? Because I am. They're so good. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with them. I'm really, really impressed with all these blushes. I'm like, we're all in a blushy place world-wise. I feel like everyone's kind of really into blush right now. And I am no exception. I am loving blush. Okay, next, let's move on to lips. Oh, I have a couple lip products. So first things first, we have this lip liner from Victoria Beckham Beauty, and this is the shade 02. The shade that I use a lot and have mentioned on this channel is the shade 04, and then also the shade 05. I also have the red shade. I love their lip liners, but this is my newer shade. I'm just covered. And this is just like such a pretty, more neutrally toned pink for me. And it's really, really, I'm obsessed with it. It's just, ooh, you know, I'm not wearing this on my lips right now, but I want to apply a little bit of it. It's just so good. I love lip liner, you guys. Do you love lip liner? Just upset. It's just like such a pretty tone. And it works really well for, like, let's say I'm doing an eye like this, which, like, obsessed. Or like I want to go super, super bright on my cheeks. And I want to do like a nice, like smoky winged out eye look. A lip liner like this tone on me right now is just perfect, especially going into summer where I'm loving the idea of a really, really nude, more nudie, light nude kind of colored lip and a really bronzed up face and then maybe a pinched cheek, like slightly, like not as much as I'm wearing now, just slightly pinched. I've been loving that idea. So like this type of lip liner color specifically is really good. The lip liner I was wearing before I applied that on top is actually, because I filmed an entire Persona Cosmetics makeup look, is the Persona Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Rosewood. Really, really pretty. Okay, next, you guys, this is the Amicole lip oil. I actually just applied a little bit on top. I'm obsessed with this. Thankfully, they came back in stock and I grabbed it as soon as they saw that it came back in stock because it was out of stock for a while. And I was running real low and I was getting a little nervous because I'm obsessed with it. It's like the perfect consistency. It has the perfect amount of shine. It's really hydrating and it's really nice to wear alone and on top of other things because it's not so pigmented that it completely changes what you're wearing underneath in terms of tone. It just like makes it a little bit better, but it's not so pigmented that I feel like it will be like too much pigmentation if I want something to be like true. Like I want my lip liner to kind of be true to like what it is. Really, really good. I mean, you know how I feel about Amicole. They're my favorite. Okay, next is the Merit Beauty signature lip, what are they called? Lightweight lipsticks. I actually have another one coming in the mail from the Sephora sale. So excited. And I have the shade L'Avenue. And this is like such a pretty, my arm hair is just like all up in the lipstick, but it is so pretty. It is like the most perfect bitten lip look. And this with like a really like smoked out cat eye and really basic just mascara, like not over the top lashes, and then a really peach, like a really pinched cheek look, and a little bit of this and just like blend it out. I kind of like to blend out my lipsticks to create a little bit more of a pillowy lip look. It's just so good. I'm obsessed with it. It really, if you're into the French girl aesthetic, I feel like this shade is like a really good option. It's really, really pretty. Okay, next we're gonna move on to highlighters. So this is still my favorite highlighter of all time. This is the Minori highlighter and this is in the shade Champagne. Gorgeous. I'm actually wearing it on my cheeks today. I mean, look. It's just so pretty. It's gorgeous and it lasts so long. I just take my finger, apply it. It melts into the skin. It's friendly in person. It doesn't look really intense. It just kind of melts right in. I love cream highlighters. I feel like they are just like above all things, the best highlighters ever. And they're camera friendly. Like I just feel like they're so, so good. And this one is really, really good. I also really like their cream blush. And I've been grabbing that, not as much as everything I mentioned, but I have been grabbing that and enjoying it as well. Okay, next powder. This powder I've been grabbing a ton this month, the Kosas powder. This is the shade Cushiony. I also have the shade Pillowy, and they're just so good. They set your face up, but they don't make it really matte. They kind of just set your makeup in place, and then like your natural oils peek through a little bit. And then you also, if you have like a really dewy, let's say blush, it still lets it look dewy. I really, really enjoy this. And although it has a little bit of pigmentation, it's not too much. I feel like it's still relatively translucent depending on how you like what brush you're using, but I really enjoy this. And it just kind of sets me up for success. Okay, next, we're talking brushes. So these are the, I don't think they have a name, the Flower Beauty. I don't think they actually have a name, or they must have a name, but it's not on the brush. But I have two of these and I'm obsessed with them. Obviously I use this one for blush, and this one specifically I love for powder blush. It's just so good. I've also used this with cream and liquid, and I've really enjoyed the way it applies it, especially if it's a really, really pigmented cream or liquid brush and I don't want to use a beauty sponge. I find that this is nice for like a really light application, to give me like, if I want just apples of the cheeks, like really like pinched cheek look, I really like this. And then I also have this for powder. I've really been enjoying, let me apply a little bit of powder, even though I don't really need it right now, but that's okay. I've really been enjoying using this to apply powder kind of just down the face, and like really lightly. I don't like a lot of powder, which is why loose powder in general I feel like it's harder to control, which is why I like packed in the pan powder the most, because I don't like to apply a lot of powder. It's so good. And especially in this area here, if you have a lot of pores that you feel like are showing, or it's really, you want something a little bit more blurred out, this does a really good job at that. If you have a little bit more of a dense brush, really, really good. Obsessed with all of these things. Okay, next we're moving on to hair and skincare. We're talking about a bunch of good things. So first things first, okay, we need sunscreen. Summer's coming, we need sunscreen. So I've been liking this a lot. This is the Unseen Screen SPF 40 from Supergoop, but I've tried their mineral sunscreen, really enjoyed that as well. Their glow screen, I've tried a bunch of their sunscreens and I really, really enjoy their stuff, just so good. And this is really good. And I'm mentioning this one specifically because this is really good, like a primer almost. This is a good primer for makeup. It has a little bit more of a silicone feeling to it. It's not as thick as other, like, let's say silicone primers that you probably use, like the Smashbox one or something like the Makeup Forever one too. This is a thinner, and it wears great without makeup on top. It wears great with makeup on top, and I feel like it definitely smells like sunscreen, but I feel like it isn't as intense as other face sunscreens that I've used. I really, really like it, and it gives like a nice glow. Okay, next let's kind of talk about my hyperpigmentation. I've been using a lot of AHAs, and specifically this month I've been grabbing the Dewtopia the most, but I also use the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow, I believe it's called, or Honeymoon Skin. I think it's Honeymoon Glow, and they just help so much with cell turnover and making sure, like, hyperpigmentation can get really, really dry and be like more crusty, not crusty, but like it can be a little bit more on the dry side and then crusty. And this is really, really good at also helping tone that down and like get rid of any dryness. And this tingles a little bit when you apply it to the skin, but not a lot. I apply it at night, and usually I put a face oil on top of it afterwards, but you don't have to. It's been helping so much. Obsessed. Okay, next we're going here. This is the Edam Milk Marble Dark Spot Serum. This is my third one of these. I did like in my skincare video, I'm getting stuff all over myself. Can I pay attention? I did a whole skincare video where I talk about my hyperpigmentation and like my whole skincare routine and how I kind of like go through it, and I show you all the bottles I've had, but this is my third one, and this really has changed the game for me. It makes hyperpigmentation fade so much faster, and I just want to say, like, anyone who suffers with that, it's literally the worst. Like, I've had some hyperpigmentation marks that have been there for like 6 years. Sometimes hyperpigmentation just like doesn't fade, and it lasts for years, and you're just kind of like left with the proof that the acne was there. And I feel like especially on the body, it lasts so long. It's just so frustrating. So this has been really good. So I apply it like before everything else, apply it to my skin. It absorbs literally immediately, and then I go on to the rest of my routine. And it has, like, in a week, I noticed like a good amount of lightening. Like, I was very impressed. Okay, next. So this is the Ella Luz Beauty Oil. This is my second bottle of this. In general with skincare, I don't go with like my recommendation after like one bottle. I will like go and really like try in general, especially for serums and stuff like that. Because I feel like sometimes it takes a little bit of time. The Ella Luz Beauty Oil is so good. So I really like to use this. I like put my face cream on or whatever it is that I'm using to hydrate myself, and then I will put it a couple drops on top of my skin. I also really like this for under the eyes. I take a little bit and I apply it. Right now I'm in a really, I also have another oil I've been using under my eyes. I've been really into hydrating my under eyes with oil because I feel like it just has been game changing with me. So the rule for that is, or at least my rule for that, not the rule. No, I did, just my rule is I take a little bit, I apply it like half a drop, and I kind of just blend it out and then tap it into my skin until it has a little bit of tack to it. And then I can go on and do my makeup, and it really changed the game for me. It's really, really good. I like to use this day or night. It's a really good product, and the smell is, it's just like a really mild scent. It's really nice. It smells really, I don't know. The smell of this kind of reminds me of summer, which is probably what it's meant to do, right? I don't know. But it's really good. I'm obsessed with it. It's like a really fresh, summery, a little bit of like at the beach smell. I don't know what it is, but it's really good. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, next, let's move on to face masks. So I think I was waiting for the Sephora sale to buy another one because we're at the end. Like, I have been saving this. The Caudalie detox mask. I'm obsessed with this stuff. It's so good. I also am obsessed with their detox oil. I mention it every month. This month I haven't been needing to use it as much, but I've been using this a ton, and this is so good. So their new packaging is dark green, but it's just the easiest face mask to remove. Because even like a clay mask is so hard to remove at times, and this one is not, which I really appreciate. I don't have to scrub at my face. It just easily removes. I usually just take a cloth and remove it that way with a little bit of warm water. This is really good, and really changes my like acne game, especially when I feel a breakout coming on, or it's the time of the month and I'm erupting in a nightmare. This is really good. I'm genuinely obsessed with this. Okay, next, hair. So everything I've been loving, I'm still loving, but specifically this is the JVN Complete, and this is Nourishing Shine Drops. This is the mini. I ordered a large one because I'm obsessed with this, and it's coming in the mail today, and I'm amped because I'm so afraid of running out of this. First of all, it smells divine. Divine. I don't know what the scent is, but it is life-changing. It's so good, and it just makes my hair. I haven't been using hair oils. This is like the first hair oil I've used in what I want to say is about a year and a half, and this one I've been loving. My hair really likes this, so I got the full size. Highly recommend this. It's just so good, and it's like a more dry oil, so it doesn't leave like a weird residue. The smell, it is a strong smell, I will say, but they like the JVN products smell really, really good, and I really, really enjoy this. Highly recommend. And yeah, that is it for, is that it? And yeah, I think that's it. That is it for my March Clean Beauty favorites. I would love to know, what have you been loving this month? Also, let me know down below. Are you on a pink blush kick? Are you obsessed with pink blushes? Because I really have been. I feel like in the past I've been so anti-pink blush because the tones were like way too much for me at the time. But now that I've like found the way that I like to apply them, especially pink powder blushes, I feel like the game has been changed for me. So let me know down below if you've also been loving pink blushes. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.